Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, August 28th. Today we will continue to have isolated thunderstorms over parts of northern Nevada into northwest Utah and far southern Idaho, and also some isolated thunderstorms along the Sierra Crest. Any wetter thunderstorms will likely be confined to southern Utah, and again, these thunderstorms will have a little bit more moisture and be slower moving. We'll also have some gusty winds and low relative humidity today over parts of southern and eastern Nevada into western Utah. However, winds will increase in strength on Saturday over these areas of southern and central areas of the basin. We also have a dry cold front dropping in from the north, and this will allow winds to increase on Saturday across Idaho. And then on Sunday, the cold front drives south with winds shifting to the northwest, increasing winds over Utah, northeast Nevada, and southern Idaho, and also much cooler temperatures dropping down from the north on Sunday. Looking at the smoke forecast for the next 2 days, we will continue with that southwest to westerly flow over the northern side of the Great Basin, so we will still have smoke impacts over western and northern Nevada into Idaho from the fires over California and Oregon. Similar conditions are expected on Saturday, but those winds will shift to the northwest later in the weekend and early next week, and that will likely improve the smoke situation across the north. Over the last 24 hours, we saw scattered thunderstorms up north across Idaho, with some thunderstorms into northwest Nevada, and also over the eastern half of Utah. These thunderstorms were a mix of wet and dry. We did have some heavier rainfall amounts, over 1/4 of an inch over parts of Idaho into northwest Nevada. Also, relative humidity has increased in the north. Great Basin fire activity was light to moderate across the Great Basin, with 27 new fires, but only 73 new acres and minimal growth on any of our large fires. Over the last 7 days, we've had spotty precipitation with thunderstorms, but generally has been below normal over the last month, with the exception of parts of Idaho. Currently, our ERCs are still above the 80th to 90th percentile over much of the southern and eastern half of the Great Basin. We are seeing less of the 97th and above percentile just with the moisture we've seen with thunderstorms, but fuels are still very critical over the eastern half of the Great Basin and even further north into Idaho, although some spots that have received rainfall have seen fire danger go down a little bit in the central mountains. So looking at some of our ERC graphs, you can see the ERCs, how much they've come down across Idaho over the parts that have had some rain to below normal, and have come down over southern areas of the Great Basin, but are still near or at record levels for parts of the drier spots of eastern Nevada into western Utah. The satellite image from this morning shows the moisture trapped beneath the ridge of high pressure over southeast Utah today for additional thunderstorms, and also you can see some of the moisture evident over northern Nevada, which will be the focus for thunderstorms to initiate this afternoon. Looking at the weather pattern for later today, again, the moisture we've already talked about. We do not have any high risk across the area. We will see thunderstorms in similar areas that we've been experiencing thunderstorms. Some of this lightning over northern Nevada could be on the drier side. However, again, we've seen lightning recently. Relative humidity today will remain in the single digits to low teens across most of the area, and the weather picture on the right shows again where those storms will initially develop in Nevada, far southern Idaho and northwest Utah, and then into southeast Utah. As we move into Saturday, the cold front starts to drop into central Idaho, so winds will increase out ahead of this cold front for breezy winds and dry conditions across Idaho, and also still some gusty southwest winds and low relative humidity over eastern Nevada and western Utah, so high risk in some of those areas for Saturday. Relative humidity remains unchanged with single digits to low teens, and then you can see the wind image on the right, that area of winds over eastern Nevada and western Utah, and the winds picking up across Idaho. Most of these wind gusts will be between about 30 and 35 miles per hour across Idaho, and maybe a little bit stronger towards 40 miles per hour towards eastern Nevada. On Sunday, that cold front drives a little bit further south and east, so our winds will be picking up across northern and central Utah, as well as remain breezy over southern Idaho, and relative humidity will still remain quite dry. On Sunday, you can see the single digit to low teens across much of Nevada and Utah, and relative humidity only increases slightly on Sunday across Idaho, but temperatures will start to cool, especially across the central mountains, where highs will drop from the 80s down into the 60s, and valley highs across Idaho on Sunday and Monday will drop into the 70s. Looking at our wind gusts, you can see the stronger wind gusts on Sunday across Utah. These wind gusts will exceed 40 or 45 miles per hour with a wind direction shifting to the northwest. So both the wind shift and the increase in speed will be significant with low relative humidities across those areas on Sunday. Not much in the way of precipitation, as anything will be very spotty with isolated thunderstorms today. As we move into Monday, yet another cold front drops south, and this will reinitiate stronger winds across much of northeast and eastern Nevada, and even possibly back into central Nevada, and also continuing across northern and central Utah. Relative humidity will still remain quite dry, and these wind gusts could easily exceed 40 miles per hour. So again, a very windy day on tap on Monday with dry conditions. Any moisture we see will be confined to parts of eastern Idaho or Wyoming and very brief, and then on Tuesday we'll see drier northerly flow across most of the basin. However, wind speed should be decreasing, so we will see cooler temperatures and no high risk for Tuesday. Wednesday, the high pressure starts to re-emerge over western sides of the Great Basin, so we'll stay dry with only gradually warming temperatures, and similar conditions on Thursday, just dry conditions, lighter winds under that ridge of high pressure with no high risk. Not really much in the way of any precipitation associated with the cold front. Possibly central Idaho, maybe Wyoming might see some areas of precipitation behind the cold front, but again, that will be after the winds move through. And then over eastern and southern Utah, any thunderstorms could have some moisture with them during that next several days. The 8 to 14 day outlook shows above normal temperatures taking us from September 4th through the 10th, and also drier conditions. We will see periods of cold fronts move through the Great Basin from the north, so it will bring some cooler temperatures and windy conditions going into the first week in September. That concludes our webcast for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.